What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we have the April 2021 Pensacola International Airport update for you guys. Hope you guys are excited for today's video. Today we have some very significant changes and some huge anticipation off of two major announcements for Pensacola International Airport. We'll save the majority of those announcements for the end, and we will talk about the changes throughout this April airport update, I suppose. I guess we could call it that, but I was going to say airport update from April, but it is theoretically the April airport update. I can't even talk today. I'm sorry, guys. Let's get it rolling with this silver Airways ATR 42 in the pink livery. Would still like to get that red one, but we will definitely rock with this pink one as it looks really, really nice here and some phenomenal lighting. This guy is currently arriving in from Tampa, Florida, and he'll be making that turnaround. Next in line, we have our two UPS aircraft over here at the cargo ramp. We'll start with that Airbus A300 doing the Birmingham, Georgia run, Albany, Georgia, I'm sorry. And then we have that Boeing 757-200. He's currently arriving in from Louisville, and he'll be taking it back up there. And right here, we have a very interesting sight to see. Very cool one for sure. Right here, we have a Delta Airlines Airbus A321 at gate 4. This guy's currently arriving in from Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International Airport or Citrus Aviation's airport. Really, really exciting to see this. As we know, Delta's mainly flown 717, 737, 800, and 900 in the Pensacola. They have not operated anything over 160 seats per aircraft in a while, probably 757. So this is a daily flight for the 321. Comes in at 6 o'clock on top of all the 739s and 738s and a few 717s. Actually, the 739 is probably closer to 200, but just very interesting to see the 321. Really glad to see it. This is awesome. Maybe this is progress towards a potential 757 flight. And I'll kind of talk about that as this leisure market right now, guys. But I'll save that for the end. Let's go through all the aircraft first. Next in line, we have the Frontier Airbus A320neo. This is Colorado Bighorn Sheep, pardon me. This guy's currently loading up on the turnaround back up to Denver, and glad to see the progression of that. Next up, we have an American Eagle Embraer J-175 operating on behalf of Republic Airways. This guy's currently going to be making a flight up to Chicago O'Hare. Lots of Republic at Chicago, as we talked about in the Tulsa update last week, and many other updates to come where we'll talk about this movement. But yeah, lots of Republic in Chicago, so this definitely fills the drift that we have going. Glad to see it. Looking really good over here at gate 8. And right here we have another awesome element. Right here we have a Southwest Airlines 737 MAX 8. He's currently pushing back. I believe the one was coming in from Houston Hobby, and he was going out to Atlanta, which was very, very cool. So we'll have him coming in from Houston, heading out to Atlanta. Very, very cool service right there. Southwest going very strong here at Pensacola. They had some really cool flights going, so I'm very, very glad to see the progression of that, and really, really glad to be able to use this MAX, man. It's turned into a workhorse really fast. Would love to get that second release, 8706, but it's very hard to find. So hopefully Gemini may do another one, but we'll see. But very, very glad that the Maxes are flying again and finally have a workhorse to work with the Southwest Airlines 737 MAX 8 right here. I don't think that anybody expected to see this lineup, but it is a dang cool one as we have some very cool debuts right here for some very particular movements that I'm very, very excited to talk about. So let's get it started. So right there, that is technically not a gate, and I'll kind of explain my reasoning for why I decided to put it there. But right there, we have a Boutique Airways PC-12 beside us, I think it is. Very, very cool. Very, so awesome to finally have such small aircraft in here. I mean, you kind of do retrospective. There's an A319 right next to it. I decided to put it there because I'll explain that after I say the route, actually. So, Boutique Air does have one flight out of Pensacola with service to Muscle Shores, I think, MSL. I believe somebody else flew it, and then they took it over, so very, very cool. So, he's going to be heading out there on the, I think it just goes back and forth all day. Now, Boutique Air, it says on their website and everything that they park, and Pensacola's website that they that they use gate 12. Gate 12 is right off the edge of the southwest gate at 10. It, is an air stair little thing, and I think it uses one of the random lines in real life. If anybody knows it's a Pensacola local, please let me know. But I think it's one of these two lines I'm showing on the aerial. I honestly have no idea, but I thought it looked really nice here between gate 10 and 9, and it kind of fit in that little spot right there. So I thought it looked really nice. So I think I may just park it there, even though it probably parks on one of those two random lines. But hey, not complaining. It looks really, really cool. And then, of course, Silver parks at gate 9. But currently, filling at gate 9, we have another very cool element. This is American Airlines Airbus A319 with Sharklets. Now, this is very interesting because this guy is not coming in from Dallas-Fort Worth. This guy's coming in from Charlotte Dulles International Airport. Now, let me tell you, The American Airlines Airbus A319 Sharklet movement at Charlotte has been something to watch. They went from having no A319S flights about 9 months ago to all of a sudden quite an establishment. They're flying Jacksonville, Jackson Hole, Pensacola, Miami, Key West, all kinds of flights out of Charlotte. So to see these fleet movements has been quite an interesting dynamic, most certainly. But yes, 319S to Charlotte. It's only an hour flight. I really don't know why American chooses to fly these 319Ss on such short flights. Another prime example is Dallas to Tulsa, or Oklahoma City, or Austin, or whichever one you want to throw in there, San Antonio, Houston, you name it. I have a slight theory that it may be because of how well they are, or maybe they don't use very much fuel. It's because they're so efficient flying such short flights. Maybe that's something to think about. I honestly have no idea, but just the only thing that came to my mind is maybe they're so efficient it doesn't spend any money to do it. I don't know, something like that. I mean, obviously that's a really exaggerated example, but I think you guys know what I mean by that. It's very significant in saving money on such short flights, but then on 2-hour flights, it's not quite as practical compared to 3 to 4 hour flights. I don't know, just something I thought about, but very, very cool to see going out to Charlotte. So finally, mainline Charlotte back. That's definitely going to be staying, probably, I think, and I'll tell you guys why in a minute. But anyways, gate 9 looking sharp. At gate 7, we have another American Airlines Airbus A319. This one with fence tips, and this one's doing the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport turn. As you guys know, this flight has been A319 for at least a little bit now. I think 2 months now, so glad to see the progression of that. And yeah, so let's take a look at the rest of the concourse lineup. All right, currently pushing out at gate 5, we have an American Eagle Embraer J-175. This guy's also going to be operating on behalf of no, this is going to be Envoy. I think this is an Envoy flight. Serves out to Miami. That Envoy movement at Miami went down there to take over so Republic can go fill the void at Reagan and Chicago. Very, very interesting decision on the behalf of American, but hey, what can I say? It is a daily Envoy flight, AA4109 on the enhanced winglets main, or yeah, Envoy only has enhanced winglets. What am I thinking? So pushing back out to Miami. Gate 3, we have United Express Embraer J-175. That one will be on behalf of SkyWest Airlines. This guy's currently arriving in from Denver, and we will have him turn to Denver. That's what we'll have him do. That flight flies over me a lot, so it's very cool to see that. And it's flying almost every day, I think, so that's awesome. I really am glad to see that for United. That's awesome, especially compared to what they had 3 months ago. But I'll kind of give my verdicts on leisure travel here at the end because I got a lot to say about it. At gate 1 back there, we have an American Eagle Embraer J-175. This guy will be operating on the behalf of Republic Airways with service back up to Washington Reagan National Airport. Aviation 18 did a fantastic video. I think this should be going out Monday. So yesterday, the new expansion to Concourse C at Reagan. That's going to look really, really nice. Thank gosh you're getting that check-in security point thing fixed, because I remember I had so many, or I mean, it wasn't necessarily issues, but clearing security to go to the other pier was very inconvenient. But hey, what can I say? So looking really, really good right there. And let's continue to proceed on with the airport update, guys. It has most certainly been a little while since we've used the ramp remote stand, probably all the way back in summer of 19, probably. Been a while, but glad to be using it today. Lots of flights. So currently arriving in early and waiting on a gate is this United Express Embraer J-175. This guy's also operating on behalf of SkyWest Airlines, and he's going to be heading back up to Chicago and turn around once he can get a gate. Glad to see all these flights. United, I think they should try to get gate 2 off of Delta. They do overnight quite a few flights. However, they arrive at different times. United, typically their times are pretty close together, I would say. Kind of not. The Dulles flight arrives at the overnights. The Dulles flight arrives at 8, and then the Houston flight arrives at 9:30. So not really. So I guess they could use the ramp, but they do have some peak times where they have multiple flights coming in within 2 hours of each other. For example, if I can pull it up here. They have Denver comes in at 3 o'clock, and then Houston comes in at 4 o'clock, and then Chicago comes in at 1:40. So they come in kind of a bunch. And then the first Dulles flight comes in at 12, and then the first United flight comes in at 11. So they definitely come in fairly close together, but they are making do with what they have. So United looking good right there, and we have a few more very key elements to talk about. And currently taxiing out to the runway right here, we have an American Eagle Embraer J-170. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but this is not going to be filling in for a 175 anymore. This is its own model because there's actually these in real life. I cannot believe it. This guy's currently arriving in from Philadelphia International Airport, and he's going to be heading back out there. Now let me explain. So we have a little bit of subsidiary movements to go over real quick. I'm going to start with Envoy. So Envoy did order 6 of these Embraer J-170s over from British Airways City Flyer. That's one of theirs. They decided to sell those 170s to Envoy, and they will be using 6 of those with 65 seats. So that's going to be nice for them. So I'll be eager to see where they base those. And then Republic is getting 18 American Eagle Embraer J-170s, not the 175s, but the 170s exactly like this. So what happened was, obviously Compass fell in April of 2020, and Delta had Embraer J-175s with enhanced winglets for Compass. So pretty much what Republic says, like, hey, okay, since you guys fell, we're going to buy all your aircraft to replace our older J-170s. So that's exactly what they did for Delta, but then American was like, okay, we're broke. We need whatever we can get for extra aircraft. Will you guys sell us the last 20 of your guys' Republic 170s for Delta? And they said yes, and they have started the rollout. They go to Amarillo to get painted, and then they start flying for American Eagle. The first one, I believe, Beam said, Beam5192 on Instagram, great source for American News. He's based out of Chicago. It's November 821 Mike Delta, and that aircraft has been flying a lot around Charlotte and Chicago, and it looks exactly like this. So it's not a fantasy model anymore. Technically, I can use it. Now, I don't know if they've been to Pensacola yet. There's a good chance there's already 2 or 3 of them for Republic, and there will be about 20 of these guys as of right now. So I'm very, very excited to see that. Going to be a heck of a dynamic. And I'll be really eager to see where they base the Envoy ones, but the Republic ones will kind of go throughout the bases. I believe they have no set schedule. I think they just fill in wherever, even though they seat 10 less than the normal 175s. But hey, we'll take it. Really, really glad to see all this Republic movement, and really, really hard to keep up with everything. But definitely gonna have to start talking about these on the live streams more often, all these movements, and I'll talk about live streams here in just a second. And right here, the final model of the airport update. This one's definitely gonna look a little bit different. Right here, we have a United Express Embraer J-145. This is an XR now. So what I did was, as you guys can tell, I did add winglets to it. I think they look pretty decent. I know they're not perfect, but I think they look pretty decent. Let me know what you think in the comment section. So obviously this is an LR with no winglets. The model is from 2015. And unfortunately, there's only 4 of those aircraft left. So I was like, you know, since there's so many XR variants, why don't I get some cardstock, paint it blue, and add winglets to a Embraer my LR model? And as you can tell, I think it turned out really well. There's a lot of these XR variants still in the Continental Global livery, and I don't know if GJ has the IQ to make a Evo Blue 145 XR. So here we are, but hey, we'll take it. I think it looks pretty gosh darn good. I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but you know, I did what I could, and I think it looks pretty decent. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Anyways, this guy's currently arriving in from Houston Intercontinental. Houston Intercontinental International Airport, and he's going to be heading out to Washington Dulles International Airport or Gordon Aviation's airport. That's a new subscriber route. His airport's really good. Now I'll talk about him more in just a second, but I'm going to wrap up my thoughts on this model real quick. I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Not bad for making something do. Only 4 LRs left. They do fly into all the airports Commuter flies into at least a little bit. Typically, they get a really good rotation on the LRs, but obviously there is so many more of these XR 145s with the winglets. I mean, in the Continental Globe, probably still about 100. There's probably about 30 Evos. There may be a few more than that, but probably about that 3-to-1 ratio in terms of XR Continental Globes to Evos. But I think it looks really good, and it's going to be a key element, so I'm really, really glad to have that. So let's get an aerial perspective here and get some concluding thoughts here, and then my leisure travel spill. So that will do it for the actual model airport portion, but I do want to talk about these absolutely insane announcements for Pensacola International Airport, and then just the leisure travel bump up here at Pensacola. So obviously, now since numbers are starting to skyrocket because of leisure travel just taking over the world right now, there still is a little bit of business, but it's not quite there yet. We're not quite there for business, but in terms of leisure, as you guys can tell, it's going absolutely insane. So there are 2 big, huge announcements for Pensacola International Airport that happened over the last month. We will start with the first one, and that is United Airlines will be starting a variety of point-to-point flights from Pensacola International Airport, which is really interesting because obviously United never typically does point-to-point, but they're going to be doing a ton of point-to-point to Hilton Head, Pensacola. I think Myrtle Beach had a plethora out of some very interesting Midwest cities. So let's begin. Well, kind of, in that region, kind of west of the Midwest, east of the Midwest, kind of. So let's begin with all these destinations. New seasonal service to 4 new destinations, point-to-point. These will operate about 3 weekly, I think. So let's begin. United Express will begin service. I believe these are all CRJ 550, 3 weekly flights or so, 2 to 4 weekly. Cleveland, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Milwaukee. The first 3 start on May 27th, and the 4th one starts on May 29th. These are going to be very interesting ads for United. It's going to be a little chaotic, but I feel like these will do really well with how well Pensacola's loads have been. As we've seen many mainline flights, and some of them have got even progressively more, like Mr. Delta right here. Just been insane to watch that. I'm sure United may bring some mainline back at some point. I know they were here. Was that the January update? Maybe sorry guys, we've done a lot of updates, but I know we did have United here at some point in the last 6 months. Mainline, that is. So really eager to see how the United progression goes with those new point-to-point routes. It's going to be quite interesting because obviously United typically does not do a whole lot of point-to-point, but I think their north to Florida stuff did pretty well last fall, or last winter, I should say, theoretically. So we'll see how these new summer ones go. Once again, the 4 destinations for United will be Cleveland, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Milwaukee. Now, Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines will begin brand new service to Pensacola International Airport. I have no clue what the gate they're going to use. I'm going to take a guess as of right now, probably gate 8 or 10, maybe 6. We'll see. I think it will be one of these 3. I think they're all common use, but yeah, Spirit's going to have a lot of flights, and I would think that they're probably going to need a gate to themselves because just listen to this. Just very, very similar to what Orange County had with Allegiant. Spirit's going to be adding a plethora of new service to Pensacola International Airport as a brand new startup, as they don't have any flights here right now. But that's going to change very, very soon. Spirit Airlines will be getting nonstop service to Austin, Texas, Columbus, Dallas-Fort Worth, Indianapolis, Kansas City, Louisville, and St. Louis. Dallas-Fort Worth will be daily, and I believe the others are all 3 weekly, some of them 2 and some of them 4, I believe. Absolutely insane lineup. Some of those I feel like are going to do really, really well. Austin, Dallas, Kansas City, St. Louis really speak, and even Indianapolis really speak to my mind a lot that those should do really well. Dallas, obviously, you got American, and then Kansas City, you have Saturday only from Southwest, I think, and vice versa for St. Louis. And then the others are completely open. Columbus, Indianapolis, and Louisville. Those are very, very interesting. I feel like Spirit's going to do really well. That Dallas-Fort Worth daily is going to be quite dynamic. They may have to do that to rotate planes to get them here. At West, they're going to fly them out of the other city, but I think they're going to come to Pensacola and then fly the route on the turn and then go back to Dallas. That's my guess. That's why I think Dallas is daily. However, we did see what they're doing at Orange County. They're not basing any aircraft there. They go to those destinations and then come back. But to my knowledge, I don't think Spirit flies to Louisville. Well, yeah, maybe they do. It may be. I know Spirit's starting new service to St. Louis with this announcement with 3 new flights. So quite an interesting dynamic. Leisure travel is unbelievable right now. And for an airport like Pensacola, it's definitely going to take over and just do its work, man. It's unbelievable what this summer is going to be. But that will do it for this Pensacola International Airport update. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Unbelievable dynamics that we have going on. Let me know what you guys think. We may have to keep this going year-round, especially if the leisure travel continues as it is, because we're going to have so many interesting elements to keep going. In terms of Richmond, just have not got to get started, but I'm going to do my absolute best to get started as soon as possible. But like I said, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.